Coming up on Look Today, well, a farewell reception honoring Superintendent Dr. Joe Dragone took place last night at HVCC's TEC-smart campus in Malta, and we were there. Plus, Saratoga County Veterans Agency reaches out to veterans who need assistance. More on that coming up. And the Adirondack Theatre Festival prepares for the area's biggest film festival. We've got those details. All ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. Well, in tonight's program I sit down with Rachel Sieber. She's supervisor at large Queensbury and she's here to discuss her campaign to become town supervisor. I also sit down with Chuck Visconyan. He's president, Rockman Record Club, and he's here to talk about the next presentation, which is featuring the one and only Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. This is part 2 of my interview with him. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, after nearly 10 years of dedicated service to the Ballston Spa School District, Superintendent Dr. Joe Dragone said farewell last night at a big reception. Now, the reception took place at the HVCC TEC-smart campus in Malta. Now, he's known for providing all students with equal opportunity to help them reach their potential. And Joe played an instrumental role in early college high school programs. Well, we were at the reception where Joe spoke.
Thank you everyone for sharing this evening. Thank you for the kind words. It's been a pleasure to serve. Again, I'm not retiring. I'm not going away forever. I'm going 3 exits down the road. And I look forward to maintaining both professional and personal relationships with everyone.
I'm going to have a comment at the end of the program about Joe, and a surprise for you, by the way. Hey, his next step in his career is he will become Senior Executive Officer for the Capital Region BOCES. Now, by the way, as you probably guessed, he's an accomplished saxophonist, and we're going to have footage of him in tonight's Lookout. In other news, well, Saratoga County Board of Supervisors and the county's Veterans Service Agency hosted an assistance night for all veterans in Saratoga. The event took place at the City Center. Veterans were able to meet with representatives of more than 35 organizations to find out about all the services that are available to them. Now, in many cases, veterans are reluctant to reach out for help. And we spoke to Ann Hughes. She's Program Director for Saratoga County Veterans Peer Connection.
I think that we've got some great organizations here in the county that are really working hard to reach veterans, to make sure that veterans aren't falling through the cracks. And that's one of the main things we're trying to do, is make sure that no veteran gets left behind.
No veteran gets left behind. If you're a veteran, by the way, you should seek those services out. Switching from news to weather. Well, today saw crisp fall weather, but we had plenty of sunshine. Let's see how the rest of the weekend's shaping up and the weekend. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thank you, Jesse. I'm meteorologist Clarence Sponsor with your first look weather update. Right now, as you look at the national map, plenty of high pressure across the central portion of the U.S., maybe towards the east coast as well. There's a secondary high pressure just towards New England, low pressure in the mid-Atlantic that could bring some showers south of Pennsylvania, but for us, we're looking at a dry night but cold. Only 34 in Clifton Park, 30 Saratoga Springs, below freezing in Whitehall, and especially in Fort Edward. Glens Falls will be about freezing and even colder as we head towards elevation in Johnsburg and Pottersville. We'll see some patchy frost late with an east breeze at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly sunny. We'll rapidly warm these temps back to the lower 60s with that south breeze. Walking out the door, we could need those heavy coats. Mostly sunny areas of frost. Temperatures will stay about 32 degrees. But we warm up rapidly. 71 the afternoon high on Saturday after a morning low of 52. There is, however, a chance of showers at about 30% coverage. That continues through Sunday with even warmer temperatures. 77 the afternoon high. Then another cold front passes through, 60 the afternoon high on Monday, partly sunny skies after a morning low of 52. They'll have another cool, somewhat chilly start on Tuesday, 35 the overnight low. 57. The afternoon high under mostly sunny skies with winds generally out of the northeast. That's a look at the first look weather update. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponser. Now I send it back to you, Jesse.
Thanks, Clarence. Back to the news. Well, another lecture in the Brown Bag Lunch series took place at the Saratoga Springs Public Library. Now, the series today featured Thomas Dimopoulos' book called Saratoga, Magic and Loss. Now, the award-winning local journalist delved into the history of Saratoga, and it contains some very captivating photography and very revealing stories. And the next lecture, by the way, in the series will take place on November 9, featuring the Saratoga Springs Preservation Foundation. In other news, Adirondack Theatre Festival is gearing up, one of the biggest events in our area for the fall. It marks the second annual Adirondack Film Festival. It's going to feature over 80 films, also include successful directors and producers coming into our region from all over the country. Now, it takes place October 19 to 21. And we spoke to Chad Rabinovitz. He's producing artistic director.
What makes us extra unique amongst the many other film festivals that exist is that ours is all in walking distance. Our community is ripe for it. We have 7 theaters in downtown Glens Falls, all in walking distance, and that's just this year. Guarantee you will expand even more next year, still in just this downtown area.
Now, Chad is coming in for an interview tomorrow, and we're going to dig into this and talk a lot more about the films and all the events surrounding that couple of days. Up next, I sit down with Rachel Sieber. Now, she's supervisor at large, Queensbury, and she's here to discuss her campaign for town supervisor. I also sit down with Chuck Viscagnan. He's president, Rockman Record Club, and he's here to talk about the next presentation featuring the one and only Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. This is part 2 of my interview with him. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. We're running real tight on time. So just a quick reminder that Sold, our call-in auction program, is on tonight. Great estate jewelry and coins. And we got a special treat for you. You saw in the story earlier about Joe Dragone's farewell reception. That sounds kind of odd, but that's what it was last night. And my wife and I were there. We saw Joe. Joe never likes the spotlight. You could see it on his face. He'd rather have everybody else have the spotlight. But his contributions to the Ballston Spa School District are numerous. And a treat. Not many people know that he's a very accomplished saxophonist. So with a little nudging, Joe went up to the band, grabbed the horn, and gave us a few licks. So that's what we're doing tonight. Joe, the best of luck to you in your next career move. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Here is Joe Dragone.